Get out the insurance cards, get out the copays. The office is open, my friends. Brought to you by
Yo, everybody,
drroto.com.
it's the Override. So let's get to it. Bring the bang!
That's the craziest. It came back. Yes, I love it. My computer was like, yo, let me do it. Let me do it one more time. What's up, everybody? This is Heat Override, and I'm ready to bring the pain for you and Dr. Roto this week. Ooh, yeah. What's up, Dan? How you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing a lot better than last week, man. I was sick last week. I'm feeling good this week.
That's good. I'm jacked up. I mean, I'm not so happy that this is the only event, but at least when we get back to UFC next year, UFC 324 is a banger. So that's exciting, man. So it's good that you're having a good week. Apparently, we're going to be going down to Pittsburgh to fight. Well, Molly's going down to Pittsburgh to fight now because they asked us. So I was like, all right, well, guess we got to go. But I can't because this is too close to Christmas, man.
When?
Saturday. Yep. We're going to the Christmas Kumite in Pittsburgh,
Oh, yeah.
Pennsylvania.
Damn. Macy didn't tell me about that.
I don't know if Molly really brought it up to her yet or whatnot, but yeah, that's where we're going to be. We're going to go down. We're going to chill out, do our thing. You know, like I said, I'm not competing. It's one of the more expensive tournaments, and, you know, I would have got beheaded by my wife if I actually went and spent the Christmas money on just me fighting the same guys I always fight.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that.
No. But at the same time, I mean, there is that other guy, this dentist-looking dude. Wait, okay, so if you do go. Well, you saw him last time. He was the guy that was in my division. Looked just like a dentist, dude, and didn't want to get hit in the face. Probably had his teeth. He was like, "Don't touch my teeth. Don't touch my teeth."
Yeah, you'll smoke that dude, man.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna be a little bothered when he fights somebody of my size, or of my stature. But I'm not gonna be fighting. They get the look again. But I swear, dude, if that guy tries to sneak one more little comment towards me, man, I'm gonna have to make sure I show up at the Pittsburgh Power and put him in his place.
What's up, little JJ?
Oh, what's up? How you doing? We got some people. So we are live, everybody. Of course, you know that's how we do it for the Fight Club of Pain. Of course, like all shows, we will have a DFS on DraftKings and for both the UFC card this weekend and tonight's NFL Thursday game between the Atlanta Falcons and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So you're going to get that as well, too. And you'll get the DFS Hero simulated lineup with both of those as well, too. So you're winning, people. You're going to get some great stuff. Also, at the same time, you're going to be able to, what's up, Alberto? You're going to be able to actually get the free bets, the parlays. Here's some fight theory. And I have a ton of bets. We're going to be doing 3 fights. This one, it's just a smaller card. So we just focus more on just doing the show and then focusing on those 3 fights. Instead of like the big card, next time, we'll be doing 5 fights. And we're thinking about going live. So tell us a little bit about that, Dan.
Oh man, I can't wait. I hope we do, but I can't watch my mouth when we go live, especially watching the fights. I apologize in advance.
Yeah, and so for me, going live, it like opens up that life. But like if we go live, a lot of you people, if you've not been to Dr. Roto, you want to get to Dr. Roto, use code word WIN and join today. You'll be our rich friend. So the reason why I bring all this up, we're doing good, Alberto. How are you today?
Yeah.
So I bring this up because practically through a lot of the events, I keep putting in bets. So, and that happens in the subs only Discord. Now, when you get an event that we're going to go live, you know, more or so we'll be watching it. You'll just be watching us. We're not going to stream it. I mean, it's part of the Paramount anyway. So we're not going to do any of that, but you're just going to watch our reactions and you're going to get some of those bets. You're going to get some of the things that I talk about during the fights and what Dan may talk about as well too. And if he goes, hey, Heat Override, Rob, you're getting crazy again. And I'm going to go, oh, we'll see. And we're going to see if we can nail some knockouts, man. But we were hot again last week, Dan.
Yeah, man. That injury killed us. That injury killed us.
Oh, dude. Pantoja going down killed the 5 legs. So last week, I had my money line go 3-2, still returned. It was about, so like, if it was like $2, I ended up being able to return 280. So, like, out of all the, of like different levels and legs, that's just kind of like the easiest way to go. So it was still positive with the 3-2. I went 4-1 on the parlay, the five, yeah, it was the parlay of pain. No, it was the five tastics. The five tastics went 5-1 and or 4-1, and the losing line on that was Pantoja, and then of course a 5-0 for the parlay of pain. So it's one of those things that we just keep putting together and putting together these stringing together these constant wins, going 12-3 on just those suggested things, and those you can only find in the subs only Discord at Dr. Roto, other than the parlay of pain, which will be at the end of this show. So I'm feeling a little excited. Before we get into it, I want to say welcome to everybody. We do definitely love that all of you people are watching us and supporting us. You got to tell your friends, man. We literally were on fire. Bro, I know that Joshua Van won the title with the injury, but the plus 1,800 for first round knockout with Joshua Van was so sweet, Dan.
Man, that shouldn't have even been a thing. Like, it wasn't even a knockout. It should have been a doctor stoppage. It should not have been a technical knockout. It should have been a doctor stoppage. I completely disagree with that. All of that.
I agree. You know what? I thought about that myself too. And then you got Van going, well, he just didn't break his arm. I pushed him. It's like okay, but so you do think that was so then that would consider that a no contest, right?
No, a doctor stoppage. I mean, it can end a fight, like in another fighter's favor.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're too injured to compete, then the other guy wins.
So you still get the win.
You still get the win. So he still would have been champ. So I mean, making a doctor stoppage, it wasn't a TKO. He didn't even land a punch.
Yeah, and he got a lot of points on the DFS slates for that, but he didn't get that much in that win because, he didn't do any damage, and we're going to see a lot of damage hopefully in the main event for this week's card, Vegas 112. But I mean, I love that. Tell us a little something you got coming next year as part of the show.
Oh man, yeah, I'm gonna start doing the soup can of the week segment. So that's going to be our old washed up fighters that I either think is going to win or lose. So, and I'll tell everybody about it.
And so that was an article we did have at Dr. Roto that was behind the paywall.
That was my fault. It was my fault.
Hey, he only got like one loss all year out of 10 or something like that. But we figured it would be something good to add to the show. Again, I like to progress the show every single year, not add too much, but try to add something. And that's where we go, to give all of you an idea, the thought, the fight theory that comes behind it. Funny thing about that is on this card, we actually have one of your soup cans, Neil Magny.
Yeah.
And on the next card, we have Michael Johnson fighting.
We do. We do.
So,
man, I love the old guys, man. The old guys that still bring it.
Yeah.
I mean, this week mine would have been Bobby Green.
I mean, he could still be Bobby Green.
I love Bobby King Green. That's my soup can of the week, and I think he wins by technical knockout, TKO.
I think you're right too. That guy, I'm playing the under on that fight, and a lot of people are going to actually this could be his chance to finally get back on the horse. He's practically being given a win, although. If his chin isn't good from all those knockouts and everything that's been happening to him, all it takes is one shot from Lance Gibson. And we could be looking at a Dirt King or whatever you want to call him because he's going to be on the ground. Matt King. We call him Matt King.
I mean, the best part about him, man, he's been fighting the best in the division.
Yeah, I got to take nothing from that.
But he's also been getting knocked out cold, but he's been fighting the best in the division.
Yeah, and you sometimes got to give him that, and even on this card too, you got Mezquizal Costa versus Morgan Charrier. That fight can be really good because both those guys know how to strike. They both get after it.
Yeah.
And Charrier has really been trying to step it up recently. So, he steps into this fight good. I love Costa. I love Charrier. I have not officially made my pick or side yet, but at the same time, I've already got, I'm starting to get into the bets. I was kind of waiting for the bets to come out a little more so that I could string. That's what kind of made the parlay of pain, I feel a little weak this week. I'm still going to have the 5 legs. Everything looks good, but it doesn't add up to much because there wasn't a lot of numbers out when I did it, and I waited to today to do the parlay of pain, and I still didn't have anything out. So I was like, well, I better just pull it back and just give out something like this and move along so that we could do that, and you will get that at the end of the show. But, I mean, going towards last week, and thinking about what happened to Volashvili, Petr Yan stepped up, and he just literally let Merab come at him, and he just snuck in what he could when he could, and it was the perfect game plan.
He put on a boxing clinic. in that fight.
Mm-hmm.
And that just proves if you could stuff a takedown
Mm-hmm.
and outbox someone, you could be really good at mixed martial arts.
That's correct. And it's funny is he was the first video we ever played. So I want to say that Jan was watching our show because he was inspired and he went in there and defeated the machine. So if you're watching, Rob, or if you're watching Jan, congratulations, champion. You earned it.
He deserves it, man. He put on a hell of a performance.
Hell yeah. All right, I know why everybody's here. You're here to hear us get the 3 fights breakdowns. So this is what we got. I decided to grab a couple of the 3 fights that I thought would be the most fun to put together because, well, there wasn't really much. And I definitely wasn't going to be picking any of the heavyweight fights because those could become snooze fests. But
yeah,
what we do have is the first matchup of the night. We got Amanda Lemos versus Jillian Robertson. Dan, talk about it.
All right, I'm going to talk about Lemos first, man. She's the number 5 strawweight in the world. She has a 3-3 record in her last 6, and she alternates in between wins and losses. She's trying to bounce back from a decision loss to Tatiana Suarez. She's a very active fighter on her feet, and she uses her movement well. She tends to outpace everyone she fights, and she uses her constant striking and chain wrestling she uses chain wrestling at the end of rounds to win that round. She's a savvy vet, and she knows what it takes to win because of her high fight IQ. Robertson, she's the number 10 strawweight. She's won 6 of her last 7. She's riding a 4-fight winning streak, all by stoppage. The 4-fight winning streak, all by stoppage. She's a BJJ savant, and she uses different techniques every fight. She also competes in grappling tournaments, so she's always evolving that skill set. Her stand-up gets better with every fight, and she knows how to get inside of the pocket, throw a combo, and transition to a takedown.
Woo! Hot shit, man. That's the way we like to bring the pain. Woo! All right, man. I got it all, man. You do. You were right with Amanda. You hit it right on the button. She is definitely the better of the 2 boxers, which when we get to the numbers will show. Also, I love the way you added in the chain wrestling at the end of rounds to try to win that round. And that could be key in this fight because even though Robertson is dangerous, she, her hands can do stuff. I don't think she's going to definitely want to stay on the feet that long. She's going to want to get it down and try to get the top position to try to hold Lemos down, which is Lemos's kind of weakness. Yeah. But if Lemos can somehow defend the takedowns and keep it, now that's going to be hard, But if she can defend the takedowns and keep it on the feet, or make it to the point where if she is taken down, she has somewhat control, or she's the one doing the takedown on Robertson, then that's going to give her a positive in that thing. What do you feel about that? Do you think that Robertson's going to be able to hold Lemos down?
Yeah, I think that's the game plan, man. She goes in there, and I think every fight starts on the feet. We know that, and she's been putting together her combinations very well at the beginning of rounds, just to get to the person and create that clinch. So I think once that clinch does happen, I don't think Lemos has the skill set to get away from Robertson.
I agree with that too. In a few of Lemos's fights, going back doing the fight theory and the fight research on that. When you look at Lemos's fights, she has been able to slinky herself out of stuff. But the thing is that Robertson is so aggressive once she's down. Once you're down on the ground, it's not just about slinking out. You have to then pay attention to her submission game, and that's going to be deadly.
Yeah, it's not just about scrambles with Robertson. Once she takes you down, you scramble and you get up. With her, she always finds a way to keep you there.
Yeah, and I think that's the dangerous. So before we get into the picks, let's look at some of the numbers. Now they have distance, no, -148, knockout +310, sub +160. So you can already see where it's kind of going. Now, if you go over to the Robertson side, knockout and sub is a +125. I like that action. That action's real fun for me. And sub and points at -185 on the Robertson side will give you coverage. So either the sub happens or the points happen, plus you get wedged with the knockout. You'll be able to make your money back. Now, the first and second round sub prop for Robertson, at the time I wrote this down, was a +300. I do, because this is, a woman's fight, and it means a lot to the division. This is a big one. If Robertson can defeat Lemos, then Robertson can start talking about title run or a title shot if she gets another win. But this could be the one. Before I break to the other numbers, I see you commenting about that. What do you think about that?
No, you figure it's number 10 versus number 5 right now. So if Robertson's number 10, if she wins this fight, she at least takes that number 5 spot.
Yeah, I agree with that. So money line and distance, yes, is a +234. Decision no bet is a -280 on the Robinson side. I love all that, but I also love Robertson running out right from the go, getting the takedown, and getting a round 1 sub for +600. The under on this, under 2.5 rounds, is a -112. So there are many ways you can play this fight and take advantages while covering yourself with that parlay of the money line and distance with the sub and the points as well too. And then throwing in the knockout sub, and you'll have action all over. That's right there to make some money for the Robinson side. Let's head over to the Lemos side. We got knockout first, second round, +900. That's too juicy for a striker that is the better striker in a fight. If she can get lucky, maybe Robertson slips coming in. Lemos does throw knees in some of these positions. That will be that's big for her. But if this goes the distance and she's able to defend most of the takedowns and win some of those rounds the way you said, she gets up, the round's about to end, she goes forward and she makes the judges feel like she won that round. Moneyline distance, yes, is a +305. I also like Lemos's decision no bet. +205 goes the distance. You get your money back. No finish that. Now, knockout and points, +200, but round 1 knockout. I don't think this fight goes the distance. I don't want this fight to go to distance, but at +1500, you could bet I'm putting a 25%. I'm putting practically a quarter of a unit on that bet. I'm going to play most of these bets. Dan, who you got?
I got Robertson winning by second round submission. I think it barely gets out of the first round. And I think she submits her in the second round.
I love it, dude. I love it. This is one of those fights that just for me screams I want to finish. If you we say this constantly. When this comes to fighting and this comes to ranking and this comes to popularity, that's a big thing with the UFC sometimes and Uncle Dana. You want a finish that leaves a statement. If we can get the second round finish for Robertson is a plus 850. So you're going to be covered all around. You got your first and second round sub just to get that action. And then if you want to play the Robertson side heavy, both points and the sub, then just pop over there and just hit the decision no bet on Limos' side for plus 205 and throw a full unit on that. And then that should cover all your other units. But don't forget that plus 1,500 first round knockout because that's juicy. All right. I'm going to pick Robertson as well, too. And I agree. I think she gets the sub. And as you already said, I like the sub plus 160. Another thing about this fight, too, the points at the time was a plus 110. So you literally could play a quarter of a unit on knockout. You could do sub, whole unit, points, whole unit, and you would win all your money back. And you'd have a shot. And then you throw that in with the rest of the stuff. For more information like that, you got to get to Dr. Roto and ask us how to play that. But if you don't understand how we just said to play that, then you need that's why we're here. Got anything else on that fight, or you want to move along?
No, man, I actually really like that fight. I was glad you chose that one.
Thank you.
I'm a fan of Robertson. I really am.
Yeah, I am too. She has won his money this year, and you know that right there. It's more than just money. It's about like we're seeing her up and coming. We're seeing her apply that pressure right now, and she is the record holder with 9 submissions. So yeah. Let's get 10. Can we get the 10?
Can we get
Perfect
10?
10?
10.
That's it. Let's get that money. That's what this show does, people. We nail finishes. Even when people want to roll up in here and argue with us that there's not going to be a finish, there is a finish, and we get to always run our mouths. But, you know, that's what we do. All right. Let's get to this firecracker of a next match. We got Giga Chikadze versus Kevin Rose. Dan, talk about it.
All right, I'm going to start with Chikadze, man. After starting his UFC career at 7-0, he's fallen to 1-3 in his last 4 fights, and he's looked flat in every one of them. But he is a polished and creative striker, throwing punches and kicks from awkward angles, but he lands them with deadly precision and accuracy. He packs power, but we haven't seen it in a few fights. He hasn't really landed clean. He needs to find his old self and put out that constant pressuring output. If he does that, Giga's a dangerous man in this division. He really is. Vallejos, man, he's currently 2-0. He's making his 3rd UFC appearance this weekend. He's equally skilled standing and on the ground. He's dangerous in every area. He has quick hands, and his boxing in the pocket, he packs some power. He's a good wrestler, but doesn't usually use takedowns. He uses his takedown defense. He has speed, youth, and an iron chin on his side in this fight.
Woo! That's on fire. That's how you be on fire. I totally love this. The Giga kick, everything that's going to go on, he's going to come at him. And what I love about Vallejos is his gutsy thing. He is a small dude. And that is going to be a problem in this division for him.
He's only 5'7". He's only 5'7" in this division.
Yeah, and that's a problem. But the thing is that when he gets in there, he's so much faster, quickness. It's like that. It's like the racing games when you were a kid growing up. You had the fastest car, you had the car that had the acceleration, then you had the car that could grip the best. So it was up to you and what type of car you were. Speaking of which kind of car would you have taken in that race?
Me, I am. You mean fighter or car?
The car.
The car.
Play video games.
What kind of car would I pick? I always pick the middle one. I don't pick the best one, and I don't pick the worst one. I go right down the middle.
Yeah, so that's usually the one that can turn really well. That's the middle guy.
Yeah.
Sometimes in games too, like the acceleration's nice when you come out the turns, you get back up to quick acceleration. But if of course, like this was part of F-Zero for the Super Nintendo when that came out. You had the two guys, the big ones that could take damage. You had Blue Falcon. So yeah, we got video games, people, man. They're all.
Oh man,
right
I used to play Need for Speed too. Need for Speed was my game back in the day.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. That was it. I still have the original Need for Speed for the 3DO. There was no music. But when I got that Need for Speed for the PlayStation and they added music, oh, man. That was beautiful, man. That was beautiful. But we're sitting here in the middle of a fight. So as I was getting off, I love, like, when there's a knockdown attempt, he's right on you. He's like flies on shit. He's so fast, and that's what I was getting at. In his transitions, and then like you said, him not having to really use his wrestling, but he does use his wrestling, and we see that in his quick finishes, the ground and pound. He's able to get in position enough to make the ref feel that he needs to stop this fight. And sometimes you may not be hitting the guy as hard as you think you're hitting, but if it looks like a knockout, it could be a knockout, and that could get him the win.
But I mean, with he's short, so Vallejos, like we said, he's only 5'7" in this division, and Chikaze, he loves to throw that front teep kick.
Mm-hmm.
Loves to throw that front kick, and he loves to throw that just out of the blue, the standing head kick. Boom.
Yeah, isn't that the Giga kick?
Yeah, and he throws that kick and might go over his head.
Yeah. I've had that problem. I've had my blitz go over someone when I was taller than my opponent. So
yeah, like he might have to dial it back a little bit, but both these guys are so dangerous, man.
That's why I love this. So let's get into those numbers. Distance no is a -102. So the sport book is kind of really they're kind of torn on this fight, which this is one of those fights that will be able to take advantage. Knockout +130. I'm hitting it. I think if there's going to be something, both these guys possess knockout power, can get the knockout, can get a ground and pound on the ground. Even with Giga. Giga's got a great ground arsenal sub game as well too. So, but the sub's only a +1,000. I do like to play that though. Sometimes I might throw I'll throw a quarter on it, man. A quarter's going to win me $2.50 or something like that. Throw $1 and you'll get $11 back. That's not bad. Points is a -135. On the Giga side, we got decision no bet +250. Love it, right? Knockout in points +250. I think that's Giga's best play. Moneyline distance, yes, is a +384. Now, when we get over to the under 2.5 rounds +120. Wow. I'm hitting that with 2 units, man. That's crazy. Here's another thing. Giga knockout. Vallejos points -110. Now let's get over to our guy Kevin Vallejos, right? We got decision no bet -350. I'm fine with that. Knockout and sub +155. Yeah, I said sub. That's why I got the sub written down +1,000. You know I'm hitting it, people. All right, we got money line distance. Yes, a +132. But I'm gonna tell you something. Knockout first, second round. Kevin's coming in here to make a statement. +280 sub second and third round. Now you know why I'm doing this, people. I figure that if they're going to get tired and they get to that point and Kevin gets the opportunity to try to sleep, I want the action on it +2,000. But don't get it wrong. Don't get it dirty. Round 1 knockout for Vallejos is a +2,700. He's going to come out blazing. And that's why when Giga gets him out of that first round, Giga's knockout for second and third rounds a +1,500. But you don't think I got a round one knockout for Giga +1,500. I want to see these guys run to the middle and kick the shit out of each other and nail one of those first round knockouts. What do you think, Dan?
This fight's a striker's dream, man. It really is. It's gonna be a kickboxing match.
Yeah.
But
yes.
Giga has fought the better competition in the UFC.
Yes.
I mean, he has a win over Cub Swanson, which is one of my all-time favorite fighters.
Woo! Cub Swanson. Cheers to that man.
So, I mean, he does have a win over Cub Swanson. So, but that was on his 7-0 streak.
Yeah.
Right now, he's 1-3 in the last year and a half. So, depends on what Giga shows up.
Who do you got winning?
I think this goes the distance, man. I got Vallejos by decision.
Vallejos by decision. We got your points already, plus 132. Like I said, I'm going to take Vallejos too. He's definitely got it done. He had me worried in his last fight, but I'm taking him. I do like Giga. That's why I have action on that. I got this. I got a little bit. Sometimes people, you gotta, that's what separates the UFC from the other sports. Yeah, you could play a touchdown, but there's the rest of the offense that has to make that touchdown happen. The touchdown can happen, and then whoop, yellow flag, offsides, or false start. Boom, no touchdown, then a sack. Now you're kicking a field goal, and your player doesn't get another opportunity the whole game. That
or a catch that wasn't really a catch, and they take away the touchdown, like in the Steeler game. But I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining about it. I'm not complaining.
But hey, things happen, and with that, we get some shady finishes with the UFC. But guess what? This is why I feel, again, the UFC betting and going into next year, the UFC DFS as well too is unique. It's different. It just adds a different kind of challenge. Everything's more like a smaller slate, kind of like of course it's bigger than a showdown slate, but that's what it becomes, and that's the thing about it. And then of course DraftKings and their drafting, I love that 4-player best ball draft. So for me, that's what makes this fun. And being able to say I can play knockout first and second round with knockout in first round. And if I hit it, I hit all these different bets. And that just to me is more appealing because you can string those bets together. And that's what's made us profitable this year and also successful in giving picks to all the people that watch this show. Woo! That's what we do.
I agree with everything you just said.
Thanks, Dan.
Hey,
we do try.
And everybody, man, comment. If you don't like what we're saying, let us know.
Yeah, if you don't, or just pop in, give us a share, like, follow Dr. Roto, and Heat Override on the X. Follow Bring the Pain. This is what the product we're giving to all of you. We're trying to show all of you that you could just be more than picks. You could string things together and you can attack the UFC betting differently, and it's just fun. Maybe some weeks we throw money out, but not with the round robin, not the way we talk about how to protect yourself the round robin, because when you get somebody that gets a big finish or a plus 400, I wish I would have had that Josh Van plus 1,800 in one of my round robins, dude. Oh, man. That would...
He didn't even win that fight.
he
didn't land a punch. He didn't land a punch. Not one.
He gave a good shove. Shove.
He went like this. Get off me. Get off me.
I don't like your foot next to my mouth. Down you go, sir. And there he went.
Hey, Pantoja will be back, though, man. Now, that's actually a long-standing injury, man. It was from a motorcycle accident a few years ago.
Okay.
So, yeah, he shattered.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he shattered that arm in a motorcycle accident a few years ago. So when he landed, I guess it just popped everything back out.
Yeah. So, and that's what makes this next fight big and very deserving because, again, last week with Tyara and going on, which, by the way, I do want to say I want to give a shout out to Connor Seifert and Julius Juicebox Walker for coming on Bring the Pain, doing some interviews. That was really cool, talking fight theory.
Great interviews, man. And I want to join in on one of them.
You will. So you got to the Connor one?
I did. I watched some of it. I didn't watch all
Okay.
of it yet.
All right. Then I don't know if you did you get to the point? I'll just let it out. Did you get to the point where he goes, "Oh, you're talking fight theory"?
No, I didn't get to that point.
Okay, I just broke that out, dude. It's gonna catch you, dude. The minute Connor goes, "Oh, you're talking fight theory," I go, "That's what the Fight Club of Pain does. That's what we do on this show. We talk fight theory, and that's what we provide." That a lot of people and the antics, of course, the antics back and forth, that we provide, that some people don't always have the best option to provide.
I agree.
But I will say before we get to the main event, UFC should be on Sirius XM Fantasy. This is why everybody watching. That's why we ask you to like and share. We want you to call in, tell Sirius XM Fantasy that the UFC, under their new deal, you're looking at about 43 weeks of action next year. It's action that's practically better than every other sport. Both giving you a betting action every single week, being able to find an edge with a show like this every single week gives you a chance to continuously make money and hit it big when you take that chance. And that's what we want to provide, Dan.
I agree, man, and we're going to carry that flag.
We definitely are. And you can get that at Dr. Roto, or you can get that by watching this show. But, outside of that, I got to say, it was great to talk with Juicebox. It was great to talk with Connor, and just being able to break down fights and talk about, a lot of that, the second part of that episode. Once you get past, when we start talking fight theory, then you're going to understand, you're going to be at home in that. And so, yes, you will be on, because I'm going to ask Juicebox, me and Juicebox, if you guys have not seen the actual episode, go to Heat Override on YouTube. You're watching this on YouTube, and you can watch the Juicebox. Get the version 2 one. That one's got me down because my new computer played a joke on me.
I mean, the first one was still good, man.
It was nice to just see. I dropped it to Ange at We Want Picks, and I don't know how much he was able to watch, but he had threw back. He goes, Juicebox seems like a nice guy, and he really is. But man, in that ring, he's such a killer. And being able to talk to Juicebox about his fight with Uran Salty Baldi, that is big. So you got to talk about that. Me and Juice were talking fight theory. What did you think about what would be Juicebox's keys to success against Uran?
Keep the distance. Use his range, because he has a long jab. Juicebox has a long jab. Use his range and kind of avoid the clinch with that man. Use your footwork, and use your range, and because he likes to, not Juicebox, the other guy. He likes to throw overhands. So
yes,
try to dig in the pocket, and dig to the body. Bounce out of the pocket. Use the jab. Dig to the body. That's what I think.
Yeah, and that's, if for everybody that has not seen that interview, again, go find that. This is what we want to provide for you from Dr. Roto in the Fight Club of Pain on Bring the Pain. We are really trying to bring in the best guests for interviews and to talk to them and to show you what they're like, and to talk. I was surprised. Like, for me, I wouldn't have so much talked about the fight, but he did. But as Juicebox said, he feels he's going to be the stronger of the two. I agree with that. And I did bring up, of course, the clinch, because both of them love to clinch. And you brought up that he needs to stay away from the gorilla. I think that Julius can overpower him. We'll talk about that for a few seconds. Do you think that can happen?
I think he can overpower him, but I think that he's not as polished as the other guy in the clinch, because that's where he comes from. He's more of a wrestler.
Yeah.
So I think Juice has better hands.
Yes, he does.
I really do. I think Juice needs to use his speed, because he has a big speed advantage also.
Yeah. Yes, he does.
I think he needs to use his speed, get in and out of the pocket, and I think he can knock him out if he stays on the feet.
I think so too, man. And we already won money with and against Euron, the gorilla. Salty Vida. Salty. Sadi Baldi. There we go. So for me, that's going to be UFC 113, Fight Night 113, Vegas 113, of course. And that's, I think Juice should be on the main card. If he's not in the main card, he should be ending the prelims, because I think both of these fighters do have a lot to give the UFC, but one of them's clearly going to be the better fighter. And I know that Juice is determined to win and to continue his UFC career. He is literally happy. And when you get somebody that young, that motivated, that strong, with hands like that, with a smile on his face, it's
and he's a genuinely nice guy.
Yes,
genuinely nice guy. And give him 2 to 3 more years in the UFC.
Yeah,
I think he'll be in the top 10.
I agree with that, and maybe a title shot one day. So again, people, this is what we want to provide. But you know something else we do provide, Dan? You know a little bit of what we talk about in here.
Sometimes we get a little rowdy, Yeah, we like a little bit of the highlight. We got a main event, just like the WWE this week, in the Saturday night's main event. Oh yeah! John Cena's gonna spotlight with Gunther, and John Cena's gonna end his career on a high note. Oh yeah!
In this corner, we got the Mad Bomber himself, the guy who went toe-to-toe with the champion and lost his chance. Will he gain another chance? Brandon Royval! In this corner, we have the man that likes to take breaks, miss fights, and beat people up. Manel Kape! Dan, defend your fighter.
All right, so I'm going to start with the John Cena salute, right? Brandon Royval, man, he's 2-1 in his last 3 fights, but he got the better of Brandon Moreno and Tyara. Plus, he put on a Fight of the Year candidate against the new champ, Josh Van. Brandon Royval is chaos personified. He's a nightmare for anyone in a 5-round fight. His pace, awkward style, and willingness just to crash into clinches, it's going to make Kape fade. And it's going to make him uncomfortable and force him out of his counter-striking style. Once Royval drags him into scrambles and uses his BJJ black belt, grappling, and back-taking abilities, it'll be a long night for Kape.
I'm defending Manel Kape, a.k.a. Manuel Pedro Gomes, Starboy. He was born in Luanda, Angola. He resides in Las Vegas, Nevada. But he's fighting out of Phuket, Thailand for the a.k.a. Thailand Fighting Crew. He is 22-7 of the 22 wins. He's got 14 knockouts. He's got 5 subs, 3 decisions. This man has never been knocked out. This man has lost twice to subs, twice. And he has 5 decisions. We're talking about the former Ryzen champion, the former KOC bantamweight champion. When he was at Ryzen, he actually had a chance to fight Haraguchi, who fought just recently and won. Haraguchi was hurt. He could not fill in. In stepped Kai Ascura. And in that fight, Manel Kape's blitz was able to finally put away Ascura the way that my client hopes to put away Brandon Royval. I love those sets. I love those sets we do. So let's talk about this fight. I agree completely. I got to watch Royval fight live. with Van in that last fight, and I simply fell in love with that high attacking. That's the way I train a lot of my people that I fight with in point fighting. I teach them to be active, to keep the hand out, because you never know if someone blitzes, boom, you'll hit them with the overhand, right? At the same time, I agree with you about the BJJ on the Royval side. I don't think Kape wants to take this down, but Kape definitely can get the sub himself. But both fighters I can see completely go away. I feel that Royval's going to come into this fight to slug or to outbox, and I think he will outvolume in a 5-round fight Kape in this, but Kape can definitely pick his choose and counter enough with the power that he might get the judges to lean his way. However, that makes both of these fighters and this fight dangerous. What do you feel, Dan?
I agree with you, and I know you like Kape. I know. I'm on the fence about him.
Yeah.
He's a good fighter, but I think he relies way too much on his counter striking. He does not attack enough.
Yeah.
He does not use his offense enough. And I think with someone like Brandon Royval, you have to attack him.
Yeah.
You can't be second to him, because by the time Royval throws 3 punches, you're already in the clinch.
Yeah, I agree with that. Now, this is why this is big for the flyweight division. If Kape wins this, now, speaking with Juicebox is hearing that it's going to be Taira versus Van in Japan. Now,
which it should be. It should be.
It should be. I think that fight happens. I think it makes complete sense, and I want to see it. If Kape goes out there and knocks out Royval in round 1, does he make that change?
I don't think so. I think Kape needs to do a little bit more and show up for more fights, because he's backed out. He's backed out of a few. He's been hurt in a few, and he missed weight. He missed weight once or twice. He needs to be a little bit more disciplined.
I was gonna say he needs to be more committed, especially when you get up near the belt region. You have to make sure that you go that extra mile, that you do that. So, real quick, before I give the numbers, I want to make sure everybody gets their NFL lineup for tonight. It's a crazy one, but just hear me out. This is on DraftKings. Captain spot: Algier, Bijan Robinson, Bucky Irving, Mayfield, Cousins, Sills. I am not a Darnell Mooney dude, and I know that Pitts is active tonight, and I know Pitts is going to get a lot of work, but the third receiver out of that is Sills. He has 2 catches. When I said to play Sills catch prop in my article earlier today, 2 catches was a negative 178, 158, something like that. That was in my article that you could have got behind the paywall at Dr. Roto, Cobra Win. And so I wanted to get that out real quick so that we got that done, and then we're going to get into the numbers and then our picks. Also, I will give you the DFS lineup from DFS Hero. Use code word DOC. You get 20% off of your subscription. So we're going to make sure we get this out the way. So while everybody's watching us and get ready for the DFS Hero lineup, get ready for my UFC Vegas 112 lineup, you have this action for the NFL to win you money tonight so that you can put that money on Saturday. So let's get to it. We got the game right here. Boom. It's pulling up. This is what we do. We really do care to win all of you money. Robinson is your captain. Mayfield, Irving, Drummond. So they're just picking wild receivers, but they did get Pitts and they did pick Algier. So the only difference between not playing Kirk Cousins, they went with Pitts, but they had to go to Drummond, where I paid up for Sills. So they're taking a chance on the 4th receiver and I wouldn't play it, but hey, that's it. You get 2 lineups, practically 2 people different out of that 4, with Bijan as the captain. Of course, Bijan is more attractive than Algier, but the Algier is why, as captain, was allowed me to get the other the salary for all the other players, and that's probably why they had to go for somebody like Drummond. Drummond. Who's that? This is like a basketball player. Did they just get Drummond off the court? Like, what are they doing, bro? This guy. This is why when it comes to UFC, you look at what we say, you listen to what we say, and you play what we do. And you go to the subs only Discord and you play those lineups because you will make money. However, sometimes, especially with this card, with how many people have flipped in and flipped out, the simulator is going to be off. If and they have to be updated. They will be updated, but a lot of people sometimes fail on that. They get their lineups in and then they don't change them, or they get lost, and then it's too late. So, definitely going to get that working. All right, let's get to it. Let's get to the numbers. Distance, no, -168. Knockout, +110. Love it. Sub, +460. That's worth a half unit if you want to get froggy, people. Of course, we're talking about Brandon Royval versus Manel Kape. On the Royval side, decision no bet, +260. Love it. I love that play right there. Distance, yes, money line, +456. I am on that. If you only play 2 bets on the Royval side, make it those 2 bets. And no matter what way he wins, you will win money. I had somebody in my stream on Tuesday say, how do we make money, Heat Override? How can you make us money, Heat Override? I said, listen to the Fight Club of Pain. I will toot it for 1 second. I've been good this whole episode, especially after all the other stuff and numbers we did, that if you want to win money, you play with this show. This is one of the best UFC, one of the best DFS, one of the best informational podcasts in the entire sports industry. And you can take that to the bank. Go check the numbers. Go back to check. We are literally like 1,000 units.
Say it with your chest. We are the best. We are the best.
We are the best.
Say it with your chest. Say it with your chest.
Yeah. Well, I will say this. There's not a lot of services like Dr. Roto that offer this and do what we do. And again, I'm an active fighter, people. I'm not giving you bullshit. I'm not telling you to play a knockout if I don't think I can't see a knockout. And so
I'm a retired fighter.
and a retired wrestler. So that allows us to go into the fight theory. All right. I got Royval trying a sub in the first, second, and third round +1,600. We get crazy on this, people. Knockout. Royval keeps catching Kape. Kape's getting it in, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, knockout. +3,500. You know I could not turn away a +3,500. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to throw a unit on it. I don't give a shit, right? Like, you throw $5 down on that, you're winning like $250. Throw $1. You're winning $36 if Royval can finish Kape in the third, fourth, or fifth round. Let's get over to the under 3.5 rounds. Love it. I keep saying 3, right? 3 +102. Definitely love that. Over on the Kape side, also, I did want to say this is another fight. Points is +125. So again, if you play this with your units correctly, you'll make money no matter what outcome this fight is. You just gotta listen to us. On the Kape side, we got distance, no, money line, -102. We got knockout and points, -230. We got knockout, first, second, third round, +230. Knockout and sub, +100. Decision, no bet, -370. Dan, what do those numbers tell you?
It tells me that everyone thinks this is going to decision.
And who do you got winning?
So Brandon Royval, man, he's fought the better fighters, and he's fought the best of this division. I mean, he has wins over Brandon Moreno and Tyara, and he only lost by 1 point to Josh Fan.
Yep.
1 point.
I think if he doesn't get taken down at the end, which was a slip, that he wins that fight.
I think I thought he won the fight until that takedown.
Yep, because it was all about that action at the end of the fight.
Yeah, I thought he won that fight until that takedown. I don't see a path to victory for Kape. I think Brendan Royval wins by decision.
Woo! So you agree with that?
But I also really, really like the 4th round submission by Brandon Royval.
Ooh, all right. Let's get that 4th round submission. So so you see, this is why. So I went with the knockouts late. Normally, I'm a sub guy late. If you look at some of the way that I do my stuff, that's how I kind of always do it. I figure by the time you're gassed, it's easier to get a quick tap, but it's also easier to get a quick knockout as well too. So for me with this fight, I thought that Royval his motor, if Kape starts gassing because he misses fights all the time, then if Royval takes us a distance, he's gonna start tagging him. All it takes is one of those down the pipe because he's gonna be the more active of the fighters. So Royval in submission, 3rd round. You said 4th round? Fourth round, plus 4,000. Plus 4,000. I love it. That is crazy. Woo! This is gonna be the only fight that we're different on, because I, of course, am gonna pick my boy Manel Kape, and I have him 3rd round win is a plus 900. When I said earlier, the action happens in the 3rd, that's why I feel the action. Now, to also back up Dan on what he just said. Now, you know me, when I go into the submission rounds, I'm going to do the 3, 4, 5 Royval, 1,700. I like that as well, too. So, people, we do give you a lot of bets, and some people have brought up, not many people, but have asked, how do you play these bets? So, for me, if you watch our over this past weekend, I had over 40 green screens. And, we caught... I had, it was insane. But the thing is out of all these bets that I had, what was one of the I thought was better one was the Manuel Torres. Manuel Torres decision no back plus 188. Manuel Torres first, second round knockout plus 380. Either fighter to win in the first that was that other one. That was my Chris Duncan, my Chris Duncan love fest, which is another thing. Chris Duncan, fight, go to distance, no Chris, negative 140. How fight will end, submission, plus 140. We recommended that. Chris Duncan, by submission.
Boy, did we call that. Boy, did we call that one.
Yeah, dude. I mean, we had submission, plus 340. Either fighter to win, first or 3rd round. Talk about that a little bit, Dan.
Oh, man. He jumps to Gilly, man. So yeah, he jumps to Gilly, and that's exactly what I said when I broke down that fight.
Yeah,
so,
That was your pick too?
Yeah, and when it happened, I texted you. I was like, "What the?" I was like, I called that shit straight down the middle.
I like Chris. I've talked to him about doing the podcast, so maybe we can get Chris the Pablo Duncan on. If any of you
that'd be awesome.
Chris, dude, I would love to have Chris. He's just like me, Gutty. He's just like you, Gutty. That guy that wants to get in there, bring the pain, and do it. And, Terrence has actually talked to me on the X a few times. I brought that up with Juice, and he's a really cool dude. But, sometimes being a cool dude, get your ass waxed in the ring, and he was not ready for that Gilly.
He wasn't. He wasn't ready for the stand-up either. He got beat up.
Yeah, he was that was the thing was he was getting hit. He was going. I was like, I kept seeing that head get lower, and then they did that roll. I was like, it's over, and there it was. So that's exactly what we're saying is when you play these bets, and we say to play these bets, and you see us hit, all that, the parlay, the bets, everything, and it all comes together. This is something you can't do in any other sport, and that is why SiriusXM Fantasy is wrong by not talking UFC. If I'm the guy, if you're the guy, Dan, if we're going to make a statement for this, not having UFC. Now, I'm not going to argue for the racing. I'm not going to argue for the golf. That's all for you guys to do those sports, right? We're talking UFC, and we're going to back the UFC that they need to include this. Bets like this, product like this should not be ignored. The fact you ignore it only shows that that's what you truly are.
Yeah.
Ignorant.
And even last weekend proved that this is the hardest sport to even predict because of the injury to Pantoja.
Yep.
No one could have predicted it.
Yep.
No one could have predicted that. He landed 6 crisp shots, threw a head kick, and then fell over and broke his arm.
Yeah, and there was some really fast exchanges, and so for me, that's why when you watch this show, you get a plus 1800. Yeah, we were thinking that Van gets a first round knockout. We didn't know it was gonna fly like that, but if you don't listen, if you don't have the action on that bet, then you lost that bet, and you didn't get as good of a bet because that was literally the type of best. The only thing that could have got that was under the 2 minutes or whatever it would have been within the first minute, within the second minute, knocked out. And guess what? It was just easier to do first round knockout plus 1800. But that's what we do. That's what we give. So
and that Brandon Moreno fight, man, that was a bad stoppage. Stoppage.
So, I'll throw it out for everybody. One of the parlays I did put in there that was a plus 2194 was Myron Santos money line under 1.5 rounds for Abdul Malik. Got that at a negative 182. They screwed up on that one. Thank you. I had Iwan Baranowski knockout sub negative 133. Jalen Turner knockout first second round plus 126. And then fight will not go to distance. Nazim Sadikov versus Farazam, which also Farazam money line, which we did give out on this show, and no distance was a plus 301. Knockout on that fight was a plus 200. I have all these because I made all these bets. People give you green slips. We give you a green album. There's levels to this shit, people. There's just levels. All right. Let's get to my DFS lineup real quick, and then I will get to the parlay of pain. So we'll do the DFS hero lineup, and that's Kape, Buchecha, Croden. I love Croden this week. I love Croden. I don't care if she wins or lose. She could just keep boxing the shit out of Luana Santos, and she can easily win that. Plus her price on DraftKings is straight crazy. Shariar, Asplund, love it, and Bleda. I like the Bleda pick too. And I think that fight could go under too, but sometimes you never know with these women fights, man. They get a little crazy and then they go distance and then you're putting money under. But we did have Macy Barber distance and win last week, so we got that. I went a little crazier. I have Croden, Kape, Vallejos, Bleda. I went with Olesijic, and I went with yo boy, Neil Magny. I did it, dude. I did it.
I'm telling you, he's the ultimate gatekeeper, man.
He is the ultimate gatekeeper, and he's probably gonna die in this fight, right? He's probably gonna get knocked out, or is he? Is he? Because everybody loves Amosov, and I'm picking Amosov as my pick, right? Yeah. But DFS wise, I'm gonna pick Kape because I was able to get that lineup, or not Kape. Well, of course, Kape's on it. Magny.
Neil Magny, yeah.
Magny can go the distance. Just go the distance. He's a veteran, people. He is a veteran.
His volume.
Talk about it, Dan.
He in the welterweight division, not too many people throw as much volume as Neil Magny.
Yeah.
He always sticks that jab. Always sticks the jab. And he always throws more than one punch combinations. He never goes for a knockout punch because he's not that guy. He throws in combinations and he lands in combinations. So he's a good pick. He's a good pick for that DFS lineup.
Yeah, thank you. And a lot of people don't think that he could win this fight. But then again, everybody thought he couldn't win his last fight, and he did. So that being said, that's what being a vet sometimes helps. When I fight like the 6'5" guy I fought, he was a green belt, right? So, but he didn't really know how to use his legs. Being 6'5", he would have been able to keep me awake. But even with that, even with the dashes that he did, even with the, because he hit me in my face a lot. But the problem is I was going to the body and then going up to the head, but I was so fast. There's this one part in this move. I do a fake kick and I blast forward so fast, and I go right through him, and I hit his body as I come through. So again, that's something that somebody that's been in the ring longer, more times, can do that. Now, I'm not saying that Yaroslav can't win this. And when we go to the fight, the distance on this is a -150. How the fight will end is a +150 on the sub side, and to +330 on the knockout points is a -110. So even like if you take points and Magny, you get a +499. But that would be based on that Yaroslav wasn't able to get him down and able to strike at the tempo he is. But Magny, as you said, is a great play for DFS, because if he does go the distance and loses, he should have enough volume and action to get it, because like we saw, you can hold him down, but if he gets a chance, he will reverse on you. So that for me is the chance that I'm taking with my DFS lineup.
Dude, he's a savvy veteran, man. Yeah. He really is, and that's what he is. I mean, he'll never be a UFC champion.
No, he's a gatekeeper.
But he's the ultimate gatekeeper. He's the guy you beat to get into the top 10.
Yep. And I know you picked Royval, but I think that's going to be Royval going forward. And I'm fine with that, because
I think Royval's a future champ.
I want to believe it. So, when we did our futures, that was really crazy. So I haven't did it yet, but I'm definitely going to go check, because the Tyara, Van, and Kape, and Royval, I think all 4 of those bets are worth having, because they're all going to be in the positive. And you're going to be able to hedge yourself. Of course, you're not going to get this money until 2027, people. But at the same time, you're going to be able to get that money at some point. And so you have that money with Kape. You're probably going to get a huge thing on Royval. So, do that quarter of a unit. Kape, I think Kape could go in there and win a championship. I think he has potential. So I'm willing to put a unit on Kape. And I'm not even looking at his numbers, but I probably could go look at that right now, because I don't think they do the futures. But while I go on with that right there, to me, and then of course Van retaining through that. But here's the thing: once Pantoja is good, he automatically gets a shot. So I feel that there's only going to be 1 or 2 defensive fights before Pantoja comes back and then claims that title from any one of them.
This title might change hands twice before Pantoja comes back.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, that could, and that's no. I think Van's going to do great.
And that's not a diss on Josh Van, but the top of this division is so good, that it really could change hands multiple times before he comes back and just takes his crown.
Yeah, and for me, right now, as I'm going down right now, they don't have the flyweight as an option for a future for DraftKings right now, because I did mention that on Tuesday. It was up. We talked about that. We have that bet, but all right.
Because you have Brendan Royval. He could beat anybody in this division. Brandon Moreno can beat anybody in this division. Tyara can beat anybody in this division.
Yeah.
I don't think Kape's at that point yet. I think he'll get there, but I don't think he's that seasoned yet. All those other guys, man, they fought wars.
And that's that whole division.
Yeah. That whole division has fought wars, and I don't think Kape's built to fight a war.
Yeah, yeah. So All right, let's get to the let's finish up with this. Well, before we finish up, let's get the parlay of pain out. All right, is everybody ready? You play this. I know this isn't going to be the numbers that you want, right? I know this isn't going to be what you're looking for, but these have a chance to happen. The parlay of pain, 5 legs, round robin 5. If you need to know how to round robin, Dr. Roto, people, right? Let's get to it. We got Fry, the Fry fight. Knockout for both fighters, -310. Hit that. The Asplund fight. Knockout and sub for Asplund. I think he gets it done. -175, brings it up to a +107. Magny, distance no, -150. Love that number. +246. Boom. We're going to go with the Buchecha fight. Decision, no bet on Buchecha. Brings it up to a +106. Again, I didn't have a lot to work with, but what I did have to work with, and I feel confident with every one of these bets, is that. So you got your 4-leg at a +606. Then I went with the Almeida fight, and distance no was a -260. It's a safe +878, but most of this should happen. That should be able to cover everything for all of you and make all of you a lot of money. If you play this parlay of pain, and even if 4 lines hit, you're probably still going to hit a lot of that money back. And I'm talking about people when I do my first level parlay of pains and things like that, and I throw down the quarter bets on all of it just to hit it out and go before I increase it out. Before I do that, I mean, I'll be out the door for like $8 or $9, but I'll lose like 1 fight and I'll get 40 or 50 bucks back. So people, if you want to learn how to make money, that's how you make money, but it does cost a little more. And you brought that up to me earlier this week, Dan.
Yeah, I did. The round robin, man, you have to spend a little bit more money to round robin everything. And, but if you spend that money and you hit on 4 out of 5 of the legs, you still get paid for those 4 out of 5 legs.
That's right. And the 3 out of 5, that even what we were talking about last week worked. And then, I did the decision no bet round robin, which was really fun. I did that on 3. I did it for the first 3 fights. And the Macy Barber was the one that got voided. But unlike most, so what happened was they still got paid the 386. So I literally got the void bet. So that's how you just take advantage sometimes. They miss it, and they're not keen to the UFC because they're always paying attention to the NBA at this point right now, and you kind of catch them with their pants down, and NHL and all that stuff. So again, that's another thing we teach you here. We teach you how to find the bets that make you extra money. So yeah. Man, this is going to be great. So before we get out of here, I do want to do a small preview because I know football started, so whatever. Football's, you ain't going to make no money on that. Just bet with us and you'll make money. And so let's get to the UFC right here. And this is what I want to do. I want to look at, and this is going to be one we will go live. We're not talking, I don't know about the whole, Dan's trying to do the whole event, but I'm trying to do the last 2 fights, which are crazy. So, of course, we got Justin Gaethje versus Patty Pimblett, Kayla Harrison versus Amanda Nunes, Sean O'Malley versus Song Yadong, Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Derek Lewis, and Arnold Allen versus Gene Silva. Woo!
Bro, we got to do the whole card. We got to do the whole card.
Yeah, dude.
That whole card is stacked.
Michael Johnson versus Alexander Hernandez won us money.
Wow,
Nikita Krylov, Bukakis, Umar.
The whole main card is stacked.
Dude, Umar Nurmagomedov versus Davison Figueiredo. Timmy Gauthier.
How was that a prelim?
Yeah! That's crazy. Like, Umar wins his fight. He should probably start getting talked about getting a title shot.
He should have the next title shot.
I agree with that. That dude, he beats him down. He gets that title shot. But Timmy Gauthier versus Andre Puliev. Love that fight. Alex Perez versus Charles Johnson. Another crazy
Yeah,
fight.
great fight.
Dude. And then Natalia Silva. We got Thug Rose. And then you got Josh Hockett and Denzel Freeman.
Yeah. I mean, that whole card is crazy good. There's not one sleeper fight on that card.
And it's free. It's going to be free on Paramount. You're going to get all of your information on how to win from your guys, the UFC Sheriffs, the only UFC Sheriffs, the Fight Club of Pain. That's what we do, man. Dan, another.
And then you can watch it with us, right?
Yes.
Then you can watch it with us.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. I'll have to create a graphic that does like a break. They might already have one here. They got a bunch of graphics right here. Got thumbnails. We could do some stuff like that and just do.
We'll just call timeout. Like, hold on, I gotta pee.
No, we'll just do like little videos. That'll be funny, man. I love it, dude. It's gonna be fun. Got anything else out before we get out of here, brother?
Nah, man, I can't wait till next week on our yearly wrap up.
Yeah.
Our first year wrap
Year
up.
in review. We're going to do that. So next week we will be live for the year in review, people. We'll talk about, I guess I'll break out all of my cards, all of my little sheets that I keep. And
I got all my notebooks in front of me, man. I'll just flip through. I'll just flip through.
See, I knew I should have did that. I said I should get a notebook, put all the fighters in it, and then here I am, sheets.
Oh man, bro, I got notebooks. Just
That's
all full.
That's a fighter fan right there, people. That's what you get when you come to the Fight Club of Pain. I want to thank you for coming on again, as always, Dan. I know that this is crazy and it's fun. We'll also have to review your first year as a podcaster.
Oh man, I enjoy being your sidekick, bro.
It is so fun. The things that we are able to do for all the people. We do this out of love, people. We just ask, give us a like, give us a share. That's the only way we're going to make money doing this stuff. But we also make money from the bets, and we hope that all of you make enough money from the bets so that you can become our rich friend, man, because we have the right here for any fantasy need.
Yeah, and just wait. After January, the beard will be gone.
Oh, he's going back, and after January, I get another year of claiming back-to-back championships. But all right, everybody, have a great day, and always remember to bring the pain. Ooh, yeah.
So let's get to it. Bring the pain.
Stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out drroto.com. Until the next visit, be well and take care.